Hi everyone, I'm Kelly Stark, and I wanted to share a little trick, I guess you'll call it, with you using 100% wool pre-felt that I got from Joann's. It is normally a little expensive, but they had their coupon promotion, so I scored pretty big. Pretty excited about that. I am a really hard felter. Everything that I like to do is really firm, but it takes time to felt it down really firm. And so I started thinking about it and thought, why not try the pre-felt? It's already needle felted down, so let's see what we can do to make it faster and easier. I'm making gnome blanks. I have a few here that you can see. I always put a wire at the top because then I put a charm on the end. I usually bend it down in front of them. So it's kind of personalized for some things. And the way I start it is I take my wire and I like to put a little curl on the bottom so that it has kind of a flat form base. And then I have an angled tip on this strip that I cut. You'll notice this is about a ½ inch wide. And from doing this, it saves me at least an hour of needle felting. And I am winding it starting at the top and just slowly going down. Now, what I want you to notice is the way I'm holding it. I'm pulling this really, really tight as I'm going down. So you can barely see a width difference in the wire. But I'm just going to keep spinning it and layering it. This is a special floral wire that I use that I haven't been able to find it on the retail market. It's flocked, so you don't have to do anything to it. It's quite heavy. If I didn't have the flocked wire, I would put floral tape over it just so that it would have a little bit of tooth to it. So basically all you do is just keep winding and then you head back down again. This is this ½ inch strip, if you notice, when you pull, it goes down to about a ¼ inch. You don't want to pull too hard, just because if there's a weakness in the fabric, in the felting of it, it could pull apart. It's not too hard to get going again, because here we're going to end, and now I'm going to start with a 1-inch strip. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. Start it and just keep twisting. A lot of people, Sabrina Chan, I believe, is the one that has a tutorial on Serafina Fiber Arts for doing it with a skewer. I like the wire because I like to pose my stuff, if you haven't noticed, with my Santas and my elf. And you just keep spiraling, 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 spiraling. After about the second layer, and I have spiral needles in this, and I don't want to felt it on this table because it's going to shake the camera. But I just go along and I start felting just lightly. And the thicker you get, wind it 3 or 4 times, go through, felt it in, hardly at all. Because then what happens is, when you put your next color over the top of it, all of this smooths out. And this is really firm. It probably took me an hour to do this cord, maybe. Just because I do it way too hard. And even though this speeds up the process for me, I hope that you find it helpful for you as well. Now, I've done it on another application, which is my giant, doll that I'm making, which, no, I still don't know what it's going to be. So here's the monster. Okay, I did the exact same thing. I start, of course, I used the strip I was going to use for this, and I just felt a little bit at the end and just start winding and winding and winding. And I started this, you guys all saw it on there, with regular core, just doing a giant ball and felting it down and felting it down. And what I've been doing since then, because you see, you can still see it up here, is I've been putting loose core underneath this to build it up. Let's see how much fatter it is. See how much fatter? Not quite such an ET look to it now. And so then when I felt it down even harder. So, you know, I'm trying not to go too hard on the legs because you want it to still be posable. But I did the same thing on his feet. It kept the feet nice and flat as well, because you're just able to really get it in there tight. Another thing that you can do instead of using a strip is to use patches of it. I noticed that I have a flat spot here on its behind, so I actually cut these a little too big, and I was just going to put it on and felt it down in. If I wanted to, I could put a little padding underneath it to really give it a even bigger booty. That's up to you. But again, I'm not going to try to smooth all the edges down real tight, because that next layer is going to smooth all of those little edges out, and you won't even see it. So I hope that this helps you out, and because, you know, maybe you like to do the hardcore, but you don't want to spend the time doing the felting part of it, because then if you're actually selling things, it costs you money. It costs your labor time. So I hope you found this helpful, and I'll hopefully be showing you this much more completed soon. Thanks.